All right, guys, welcome back to another interview on Unhinged. My next guest is Joe Turner, an absolute Muay Thai specialist. An absolute pleasure, Joe. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm that excited. I'm mumbling my words. I can't get it out.
It's great to be on here, man. I've been discussing with you for a while about being on here, and it's finally good to have a time where we're both free to do this. I can't wait to get a little chat on.
Joe is a man of many talents, and we're going to get into them. But obviously, your best talent is Muay Thai, and I'd love to talk about your last fight against Anthony. And yes, it didn't go your way, but it was a fantastic experience. It's a good lesson. Tell me what you could take away from that fight, moving into the next fights.
So I've been dreaming about a WBC title since I was a kid. Like since the start of the sport, it's the elite of the elite belts to have in any martial arts kind of. And obviously you've got the boxing and obviously WBC Muay Thai. Anthony Deary is still to this day undefeated. Since me, he's had another fight against the RS champion and dominated him.
International champion now, yeah.
He's now the WBC international champion,
Yeah.
and he won that with ease. He's still beating everyone in sight. He's the one. He's the biggest lad, I believe, at my weight class. He's borderline 6 foot tall, and he makes 57 kilos, which is scary. To be honest, I got offered the chance to fight him, and it was something for me where it was like, I cannot lose from this. This guy is an absolute animal, and he's respected across the world, if not even more the UK. And I kind of just jumped at it, and I trained for. I think I had plenty of notice for it. I trained for like 12 weeks straight. I managed to get my weight down really easily. The WBC as well, they have weight checks, so I had to check weight 5 times for that fight.
I like that.
I managed to get myself to the correct weights perfectly, without a nutritionist, funny enough. And then I fought him, and I remember rocking him in round 2, and his face changed, and it was kind of like, oh no, what have I done? And he caught me at the end of round 2, and I was out on my feet, absolutely out on my feet. I come back to the corner, and my coach literally was waking me up, told me what to do. I went out for round 3, and we just went to war, and I lost on a points decision. But I took a lot away from it. I fought one of the biggest shows in the UK, and I loved it.
Yeah, and ultimately moving forward, do you see this as a beneficial experience that you, as you talked about, you're just going to learn from and take everything that you use and to move forward into these next fights? Because you sort of been on these, as you talked about there, big stage for a big belt for WBC. I mean, you talked about there for boxing, really prestigious, historical belt. Kickboxing is sort of coming over now. Muay Thai, we're seeing it as well as you talked about. Talk to me about that as well. The WBC belt, heading into that one. Did it kind of feel that little bit more special because, obviously the belt itself?
Yeah, I think especially myself being a coach now, to a lot of kids, we've got a few belts in the gym. We've got obviously my teammate, Katie Rand. She's a world champion. I've got David Zetlowski, who's my coach. He's a world champion. Like, I've got 2 European titles now, and to be offered a WBC and to take out one of the biggest prospects in the UK, it was a lot of pressure, but I was like, if I pull this off, this is big, man. Like, this is huge. And we jumped at it, and I was so excited. I trained like an animal for that fight. And I'm not going to lie, it was a bit disheartening when I won. It took me a little while to kind of get over that. But obviously I got over it. I took another fight with Alex Das, and I'm here to this day.
And I'd love to talk about Alex Das. You announced it, and you put Spain's top boy. I love the way you announced it onto your Instagram. The way you build up fights is phenomenal. I really love it. But unfortunately, you did tell me before we went on interview, the fight is now not going ahead. There was an injury. I want to talk about so when you was meant to head into this fight. How did you see this matchup? How did you rate it?
So we were discussing obviously fight, and my coach Dave was kind of saying like, look, let's get you back out there. Obviously my last fight I lost. So he was like, we want to have a fight where you can make a statement, show that you are up there with the best boys in the UK. and I want to be up there with the best boys in the UK, and I believe I am. And we kind of said, look, let's look at an international fight because it's a really good selling point for you, and it also will help to get your name out there in terms of Europe. And we were looking and looking and looking, and the promoter said, we've got Alex Das. And I've known Alex Das for a while. He is huge for the weight. He's a great striker. He's fought all over the world. He's fought on Thai Fight, which is one of the biggest platforms in the world for Muay Thai. It's huge in Thailand. It's where thousands and thousands of people. I think he's fought in Japan on the big K1 shows. He's a legend of the European scene. So to be offered him again, I jumped at it because it's like, wow, brilliant! Like, let's do it. And I was just training flat out. I had Dylan Burke message me because he was due to fight for the WBC Muay Thai world title. And Dylan was like, look, man, we're both on the same card. We're both getting ready for the same date. I'm fighting a southpaw. You're the southpaw I need to train with. If you can if I can do well against you southpaw wise, I'll be ready for this guy. And I went down there 2 weeks on the trot. First week, absolutely fine. We both learned a lot from each other, got ready.
Well, that's good. Obviously, Alex took it well. Unfortunately, he did get an injury. It would have been a fantastic fight. You the way you were talking about him there, building it up, sounded phenomenal. I was looking forward to it. It was a big matchup against, as you talked about, against one of the best European, Muay Thai fighters that had been on the biggest stages. It was really good. Looking forward to it. But I want to move on. I want to talk about what's next. And I don't want to rush her or some sort. But I want you fully healed. I want you to get back to training. Get back to your fighting ways, sparring ways. But when do you reckon we could see Joe Turner back? I know the fans. I want to see it. I know your family are going to maybe not want to see it, but they probably do it. I say I want to see a career go forward. But when can we see Joe Turner back?
In all honesty, I feel like the injury was a bit of a wake-up call. So since it happened, I've kind of really, really focused on my coaching side, and I've focused on my pages as well. And I've been fighting since I was 11, man. Like it's been 11 years. I'm 22 now. I've been fighting constantly for 11 years, and I've had almost 60 fights to this day. And it's kind of like, whew, I'm gonna have a little bit of a time off for a while. I don't know how long. I'm gonna have a bit of a time off. I'm 22. I've got a lot of fights ahead of me. I've got a long career. I've established my name already. I know I could step in to be a big fight as soon as I come back. I'm not exactly going to fade into the distance, if you get what I mean. I'm going to take as much time as I need. As soon as I get that urge to go, like, look, I really want to fight this guy. Don't matter who it is. As soon as I get that urge to, or as soon as I get someone call me out, or as soon as I need to defend my belts again, I'll do it. I'll do it when needs to be.
Yeah, and when I was preparing my research, everything about you, I was intrigued about the coaching, and I wanted to ask you about that, and I kind of felt like you fell in love with coaching. Your students that are coming through at 21st Century. Talk to me more about that. Do you feel like that you have more of not more of a future, but do you see your future plans going into coaching? But I know you talked about fighting still, but do you reckon that coaching as well will play a big part in your future moving forward?
Hugely, massively. I love it. I can't imagine myself stopping teaching at all. I've got a lot of love for it. I feel like seeing a kid come into a gym, even an adult, to be honest, kids and adults coming into a gym with not that much confidence, maybe being a little bit shy, a little bit nervous, and then seeing them go from being not only that to then your friend, to then seeing them get in a ring with you by their side, compete and win. That is a feeling like no other. I cannot describe it. A feeling like no other. I've trained kids that are being bullied at school to now they're not being bullied. Now they're competing and they're probably one like big prospects in their weight. And even like today, for example, I had maybe 10 kids fighting this morning. Seeing them all perform and do things that I've taught them and do things that they never thought they'd ever be able to do, or other kids might not be able to do. It lights you up inside. Honestly, it lights you up inside seeing them do that, and knowing that you're playing a part in their lives and shaping them for their future. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
I think the best word to describe what you've just said there is satisfying. I feel like you get that satisfaction when you see these fighters compete and they win, because as you talked about, you've coached them, you've brought them up, you've taught them your ways as of such when you were fighting and when you were younger, and your coach would have taught you something, and then you've give that to them. So it's like when your brother gives you something that was his teacher. It's like hand me down something.
It's a circle of life. Circle of life. That's how I would describe it. Like, for example, I had a young lad, Enzo. He's 14 now. He was our first ever junior champion. He won a title fight in Wales about 3 weeks ago now. And he was crying with happiness with a belt wrapped around his waist. And all of us were together. We'd all gone up to Wales together. And we'd all won together. And it was just his belt's now on the wall at the gym with all of our other belts. And it's like a family like no other. Like, that's the only way I can describe it between all of us at the gym. It's incredible.
Wow. The embodiment of people's work and their success coming through, it really shines through. And I bet when that kid comes into training and he sees his belt on in the gym, that pushes him even harder. I bet you, no doubt.
Yeah, 100%. And another reason we put it on the wall, every other kid in the gym now wants a belt.
Yeah, there we go.
They are all training like little savages because they want to be like Enzo. And it's great. The work ethic that all the kids have, and we kind of drill into them and we've used Enzo as almost an example. Yeah. Enzo works very hard. Look what he's got. And it makes the kids train like animals.
I know the kids are probably very competitive. They're competitive as well. They probably wouldn't be better than Enzo. So when it's that sparring time, they're trying to get one off him.
Yeah, we do kind of allow them to be competitive with each other in a healthy way. So what we kind of do is, especially Muay Thai gyms, if you ever go in a Muay Thai gym, we're very vocal in terms of if you land something on your partner, you're kind of like, hey, like that, and it kind of almost wind them up in a way, let them know that you're winning. And I do that with the kids. Like, if I'm watching the kids spar, I'll be like, right, he's one up on you now. What are you going to do about it? And it almost digs them to dig a little bit deeper. And it's great. It's a great little vibe we got down there. And the future's looking bright.
Yeah, it's absolutely phenomenal. I love it. I love to hear some stuff like stories like that. I want to talk about another one of your students who's related to you, and that's your sister. She fought yesterday. Talk to me, the feelings of coaching someone that's related to you. Watching her fight, coaching her, being in that corner, being in that environment when she's fighting. Talk to me about that, because I presume your heart's beating a little bit faster because you're not in control of everything.
Yeah, it's a strange one, especially when family's involved. So if you ask Dave and Katie, they'll tell you the same thing because they're the same as me. When it's someone that's related to you, such as obviously my sister, I let Katie and Dave do the talking because my emotions get involved too much rather than my head.
Yeah.
So, and Dave's the same. Dave will let me talk to his daughter rather than him talk to her, because she almost he talks to her as a dad instead of a coach, and I'll talk to her as a brother rather than a coach. So yesterday it was hard. I was so nervous, a little bit more nervous than I normally probably would be for my other students, but that's because we're family, literally, and she's undefeated still, and I wanted her to keep that undefeated record, and she did. But it's that nerves thinking, core, like the girl she was stepping up, fighting in a completely different sport to what she was used to. She's a Thai boxer who loves clinching. And we said, right, we're going to stick you in a kickboxing fight where you're not allowed to clinch. So you have to use your other skills. And we did that to test her, and she come out on top. And it was nerve-wracking, man. You've got to hide them nerves from them. You can't be nervous in front of them, otherwise you'll rub off on them. And I almost I stood by the ring with her. I chucked the water up. I let everyone else do the talking, and she got the job done, man. And it was brilliant. She comes to training with me. She jumps in the car with me, keeps me company on the way to the gym. It's good to see. It's good to see that. In a way, I haven't got anything else in common with my sister, so it's great to have that thing we can do together as a brother and sister, little bond, and it's great. I absolutely love it. And it all started from me just going, "Do you want to come to the gym? Are you bored?" And it started from there. She jumped in and she loved it.
You're gonna have to be careful when she gets older. She's gonna start throwing some sharp left hooks your way.
Mate, she's already taken over. It's scary.
That's good stuff, though. That's stuff like you like to see. I know a lot of the MMA fighters like Leon Edwards, Darren Till, Jimmy Manuel. That's what they were trying to put towards these younger generation. Get in the gym, train, because ultimately it's just going to make your life better in the long run. So I love that sort of stuff when I hear that. When you say that sort of stuff, I think it's beautiful.
100%. Obviously, I said to this day, the best thing I ever did. Well, actually, no. The best thing my mum and dad ever did was take me to a Muay Thai gym. Like, the amount of lessons I've learned in a Muay Thai gym has shaped me for who I am. And I've seen characters change. I've seen people come in with chest up and kind of the big I am. And I've seen them come out being humbled, but in a nice way, kind of shaking people's hands. And I've seen kids come in that try to be a bully and they leave with friends. Like, I've seen kids that come in that are bullied, and I've seen them leave, go to school the next day and come back thinking, and kind of say to me, instead of going, "Oh, you taught us how to fight, but I've kind of avoided the situation because you've taught me that I'm better than these situations." And to know that I've kind of helped them and to know that they've been involved in that, oh, wow, man, what a feeling.
Ultimately, that's what it's all about, and helping these kids and helping their generation for the long run. That's spectacular. You're doing God's work over there, Joe.
I wouldn't compare it to that, but yeah. I hope I'm doing something good. I hope I am, and I love doing it, which makes it even better.
Absolutely, it's phenomenal. We'll move on. I want to talk about your pages. You have 5 pages, Joe. That is ridiculous. How do you even keep on top of that? I have 1 page, and I'm running around. I'm thinking, oh my god, I've got to schedule this interview this week, blah blah blah, and I'm like, oh, but 5 pages. How do you even produce that much content? How do you even schedule that much content? How do you even go create that much content? I don't understand. It's ridiculous. Your work ethic. Do you even have an hour spare in the day?
So, if I'm going to be honest, yes, it's a headache. It's a massive headache, which I wouldn't wish upon anyone. But I've made it part of my life now to the point where I'm kind of used to it in a way. I'm used to being knackered. I'm used to uploading posts whilst I'm half asleep. And it's kind of part of my daily life. Yeah, I originally just started the Muay Thai page. And then I learned that you can obviously create more than one account. And thought, do you know what? I like watching the UFC, so I'm going to do an MMA one. And then I kind of started uploading. I had too much Muay Thai content, so I started uploading some Muay Thai stuff onto the MMA page because it's mixed martial arts, right?
Yeah.
People like seeing striking. It's all kind of under the same bracket as such. And then I started the boxing page because a friend of mine, Luke, liked boxing. He originally said he was going to run it, so I was like, "Yeah, man, like that's cool. You can run a page under the hubs as such." And then it lasted about a week, and I was like, "Give me the page, right? Pass it here." So then I took that under my wing. So I then did that, and obviously I was going to Muay Thai shows that had kickboxing on the cards, and I was filming them, and I was like, "Hang on a minute, I'm putting K1 fights on Muay Thai pages." So I started the kickboxing K1 hub page, and I ended up with 5 pages at one point, and it just I got used to it. I'm quite lucky because I'm an electrician, and the guys I work with are all local to me, so we all share the lifts into work. I sit in the passenger seat, so on the way into work, I smash it out in the morning. Literally get all the posts out. I get all the content done. I look like the most antisocial person in the world.
Just sat there like that.
Honestly, my screen time is awful in terms of how much time I spend on my phone. But I try and say this to people. Everyone goes to me all the time. You're always on your phone. You're always on your phone. I'm doing this. Like you don't just upload a really great quality video like that. You have to film it. You have to edit it. You have to put the captions. You have to find the fighters' Instagram profiles, which is something I stress about all the time, because people will have a name like Joe Turner and just have something completely random as a username. And I say to them, like, how am I supposed to find you on socials when your names are like that? And sorry, I'm going off track. Yeah, I started all these pages. It took a massive part of my life. It's made me reach out to a lot more people than I probably would have never met. I'm now known as the Muay Thai Hub guy. I've been to shows before. People don't even know my name. They're like, "You're that Muay Thai Hub guy. Can I have a picture?" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." It's been so weird. I wouldn't change it for the world, though, man. I absolutely love it, and I hope to point one day that it's something that I'm doing full time.
Yeah, only what was the goal starting the page? Was it to network as such? You know, reach out to more people, find a new audience, should we say? Was that the goal, to reach out to more people, network, find a more greater audience?
Obviously, I started the Muay Thai page first. I said,
Yeah,
so I started it because Muay Thai at the highest level, you're not going to get paid any more than $2,000 for a purse. That's me being honest. That's the highest level in UK Muay Thai scene. Unless you get signed for one championship and start getting bonuses. So the goal is obviously, if you're a Muay Thai fighter, to get signed for one championship. If not, you need to be a PT or have some very good sponsors. So I kind of was like, look, the striking of these guys is, and this is no disrespect to the MMA scene or anything like that, but the elite level striking of Muay Thai completely obliterates most strikers in MMA, if in my opinion. And it's a sport I love, and I can go to a Muay Thai show and I think it is absolutely incredible. And you're seeing these main event fighters, they are main event and they're not getting paid any more than $1,000 at some shows, and they're main event. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, what can I do to make them earn more money, make the promotions earn more money, make the promotions bigger? And I'm sat there thinking, we need more exposure. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do something about it. So I started the pages. I thought to myself, if I can help a fighter sell his fights, if I can teach people how to sell themselves as athletes, if I can help promoters promote the shows they're promoting. Put it this way, if we could get a Muay Thai event in Wembley Stadium and sell it out, and the promoters have filled every seat, there's no reason why the fighters can't be paid more. And yeah, that's why I did it. I was fed up with people moaning about how much they're being paid. And I was kind of like, look, let's do something about it then. And I hope that one day I can get Muay Thai to a stage where it's renowned and known for how great it is.
Yeah, I completely agree. I spoke to a few Muay Thai fighters, and they've talked about the pay, and I do think it's quite ridiculous. If you think about, these high level fighters, performing, main eventing, and they're only getting paid, thousands, or just under 1,000. You just feel like everything that he's put into that fight, you're really fighting for £800. It's just like, so that's why I feel like we do see a lot of like Muay Thai fighters transition over to MMA, because obviously the money's there, because
Yeah.
Whether you're in the UFC, whether you're in the Bellator, whether you're in PFL, there's money in MMA, and that's ultimately what I feel like. That's why we see loads of transition. We've seen it with kickboxing with Israel Adesanya. He came from Glory. Alex Pereira, he came from Glory. I know it's a different, mixed martial arts. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any.
A lot of UFC fighters were Muay Thai fighters.
Yeah, I know Charles Oliveira. He had a stint in Muay Thai as well.
So when I first started fighting like full Muay Thai rules, which is the highest rules that you can fight, and this is A class, I'd sell 20 tickets, right? which isn't a lot. Obviously, I was a young kid. I was 17 when I had my first A class fight, which is full rules. I got 400 quid, I believe. That's the highest level, and you're getting 400 quid. Like that's standard in Muay Thai, and the promoters can't pay you anymore because the venues aren't big. They're not selling the shows, so they can't just pull a big wad of money out of their pockets when they don't have it.
Yeah, you talked about One Championship. Phenomenal show. Everyone knows that. One Championship is funny because they really are known for their Muay Thai and kickboxing matches, and they do have MMA there as well, which is they're showing their versatility. But I would say they're really more known for their Muay Thai and kickboxing. I think their roster over there, their scene over there, it's spectacular. Honestly, it's one of the best, if not the best.
100%. I feel like if you especially like the one championship Thailand now, they're changing people's lives with the bonuses and stuff like that. Especially Thailand, it's not exactly the richest country in the world. You've got fighters that have fought for like legends, like let's say Sixhan for example. He's a legend in the sport. Before one championship come along, and he can correct me on this. I don't believe he was a rich man. He's an absolute legend in the sport. He's had so many wars. And he's had so many great performances. And he's not rich. Like, and now every time he fights in one championship, he's getting 50k bonuses. And the bloke's almost in tears because of how much they're changing his life. And all the Thais are like it. They're getting these bonuses, and you can see in their faces. Anyone watching this, I recommend you watch One Championship Thailand.
Phenomenal.
Watch the reactions of the Thais when they're getting these 50 grand bonuses. They're in tears. Their families are changing. Like, their lives are changing. It's amazing to see. And we need more shows like One Championship. More like the UK Thai scene, if it got to the stage where they can hand out 50k bonuses. If I got 50k handed to me right now, that would change my life. And it'd just be incredible.
Yeah, you talked about One Championship. What they're doing is fantastic. They recently implemented the One Championship Friday night fights. They have a lot of Muay Thais there, and kickboxing is there. I think it's strictly Muay Thai and kickboxing actually. The Friday night fights every Friday. So they are really building that scene, but they have a really large audience. It's ridiculous. As we know, Thailand, Asia, they are crazy for Muay Thai and kickboxing. So it makes a hell of a lot of sense why they're doing well.
100%, and they're fighting to live. In the UK, I believe we're not well. We've got stupidly good strikers. Yeah, don't get me wrong. We've got brilliant fighters. I believe Thais have a different mindset due to they're fighting to survive. They're fighting for their lives. They're fighting for an income, whereas we fight because we love it. And I believe that separation in mindset makes them another level massively.
Absolutely. My last topic, and we kind of spoke about Thailand a little bit here. I want to talk about the trip to Thailand with your girlfriend, which you ended up fighting.
Yeah,
Talk to me about that. Talk to me about that story, because that is pretty crazy. And you mentioned that your girlfriend wasn't mad. She encouraged you. You're on a trip out there with your girlfriend, and she encouraged you to go fight. You're meant to be getting away from all that.
So yeah, we basically at the time she always wanted to go to Thailand. It's my ex-girlfriend now. She always wanted to go to Thailand, and we kind of said, like, you know, well, let's book a holiday. We'll go to Thailand. We'll do some training out there. It'll be just relaxing. It'll be nice. You can kind of get the vibe of it and everything. And obviously, I'd already been, so I've already been to Bangkok. So let's go to Samui. It's a nice holiday location. And I know there's a good couple of gyms in Samui. And I'd asked about for ages, and they all said Yorja. And we ended up going there. We stayed in some hotel, and it was nice. Got about a week in, and I was going training every day, because you're not going to go to Thailand and not train. It was just, it was incredible. The training was really good, and there was a Thai trainer that took a liking to me. Like, he'd pad me every day. He'd corner me out from all the other people, and he just for some reason took a liking to me. And I just remember coming home from training one day, coming back to the hotel, And I had a cocktail in my hand, funny enough. I was literally drinking cocktails. I was enjoying my holiday. I was eating loads of food, loads of sweets. I was enjoying myself. I was letting myself go. And he managed to find me on Facebook. I don't know how. I still to this day do not have a clue how he found me on Facebook. And I just remember getting a video call from him, and I answered it, literally just getting out the shower. And he was just like, "You training tomorrow?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he went, "How long are you here for?" I was like, "Oh, I've got like 5 days left of my stay." I think it was around about 5 days. And he went, "Oh, amazing! You fight, you fight, you fight!" It going mental, and I was like, "Whoa! Like, I'm here on a holiday. No, 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 that's not what I'm here for. I'm not. I'm not. I'm a fighter, yes, but I'm not." He went, "No, no, you good. You fine. You okay?" Literally, and I'm trying to do a Thai accent. I'm sorry, it was really bad. Um, he was just going, "You fight, you fight." And my girlfriend at the time, I had him on speaker because I literally just got out the shower, and she was going, "Do it! Oh my god, it'd be so memorable." And she was a fighter, so she was kind of like, it was always her dream to fight, but she was too nervous to do it herself. And she was like, "It'd be so memorable for us to do it." And I went, "Right, you said I'm gonna be fine. Who's it against? I don't want to get in there and fight a monster." Like, he went, "No, no, no, you okay? You okay? You okay?" So I went, "Go on then, I'll do it." I'd had a few cocktails, I felt a bit confident. "Go on then, I'll do it." And I turned up to training the next day, and I'm smashing out the pads. Like, I'm thinking, right, I've got a fight to get ready for now. Like, this isn't a holiday. I've got to get ready for a fight. Smashing out the pads, and some little Thai man whizzed about on a moped to the gym, and he was an old Thai man, had a little belly on him, on a moped, and walked over, and he's walked straight through the gym, and come up to my trainer and started talking to him. And then he watched me train for about 10 minutes, and I ended up saying to my trainer, "Who's this, matey? Like, who's he?" He went, "Oh, he's the promoter of the stadium." And I went, "Stadium? What?" And he went, "Yeah, yeah, he's come to watch you train to see how good you are, for what Thai to find you." And I went, "All right, like, fair play." And he kind of like ended up killing me for the rest of the session, like beasting me. And at the end of the session, the Thai promoter walked up to me with the oldest camera I've seen in my life. It was something that, like, must have been at least 20 years old. And he goes, like, you, points at me. He goes, "You cross your arms." So I've crossed my arms, and he took a picture of me. And I thought, oh, that must be for like some online fight poster or something, or maybe a picture to send to another gym that they're going to try and match me with. And I forgot about it almost. And then I went back over to my trainer, and he sat there and he's going to me like that, and he's shaking his head, going, and I'm going, what? Like, what have I done? Like, did I take the picture wrong or something? He went, no, no, no. He said, "You trained too hard." I went, "What do you mean I trained too hard?" And he went, "No, you look good." And he went, and I was like, "Well, that's what I'm supposed to be." And he was like, "No," he was like, "I wanted you to look bad so they'd get you an easy fight." And he was like, "You look good." So he said he's going to get you a good fight now. And I remember the next day, I've woken up, I've looked outside my hotel room. There's a poster across the road with, like, literally this one. And I'm on it. Literally, I'm on it. And I remember thinking, like, what on earth have I got myself into? Like, and I'm driving to the gym on. I rented a little moped to get myself to the gym, and I'm driving to the gym, and I saw about 4 of these posters on the way to the gym, plastered across the Muay Island. And the gym was only 5 minutes away, and I'd seen 4 of these posters. And then I'm training, and there's a tuk-tuk driving past, which has got this poster printed onto it, and it's like advertising the fights at the stadium that is going to be this Friday. And I was one of the main events, and I was sat there thinking, who on earth? He told me I'd be all right. He told me I had an easy fight. And I'm thinking, like, who on earth am I going to be fighting? And I'm cracking on my training, and I'm so nervous at this time. So it's making me train even harder. And I remember seeing the Thai man that promoting the stadium coming back to the gym, and he wasn't there very long, but he said one sentence to me that I'm probably never going to forget for the rest of my life. He went, "Oh," he said, "I had you someone bad." He went, "But I seen you train." He said, "You good? I get you someone good." And he turned away and just jumped to his moped and whizzed off. And I was just like speechless, literally speechless. And my trainer was like, he was going, like, the Thai attitude is, oh, you'll be all right. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? You get knocked out. Like, that's like getting knocked out for them is just like, oh, well. Like, I'm sat there thinking, like, this has gone from a holiday to taking an easy fight to then taking a fight against someone I don't have a clue who I'm fighting as one of the co-main events or main events at the stadium on the island. And I managed to get ready for this thingy. I'm massively heavy. I fight in the UK at 58, 59 kilos. I was weighing 65 when I went on holiday to Thailand, and the promoter ended up matching me at 65. So I'm sat there when I'm warming up thinking, who on earth am I fighting? There's no one in my size.
Wait, so you didn't even know who you were fighting when you were warming up to go out?
No. I found out
What
2 minutes before I fought who I was fighting.
the fuck?
It's mad. But that's how it is in Thailand. And you find out, and I'll tell you in a second, it's such a strange way you find out who you're fighting. So I've got to the venue. My Thai trainer's got a cigarette in his mouth. And he's rubbing oil up and down me, like literally just rubbing my arms down, rub my shoulders. That's your warm-up. That's your warm-up. You don't do pads. You don't do any of that. You do a little bit of shadow boxing. They rub some Thai oil on you, which warms you up. It's like deep heat, but a liquid version.
Yeah.
And I'm sat around in this stadium back changing room, which is just full of Thais, and there's like, I remember like a barbed fence around the changing room, like, and then it was so like run down, but it was one of the best stadiums on the island. And I'm sat there thinking, who on earth am I fighting? There's no one here my size. Like, he must not be here yet. And they were like, right, you're on in a minute. I was thinking, there's no one here my size. Like, what? So I'm sat backstage and I am crapping myself at this time. Obviously, everything had gone on this week. The promoter had told me that I was fighting someone good. And this Thai man come next to me and he's got his shorts on. He's oiled up. He hasn't even got his gloves on yet. He went, literally, he couldn't speak English. So he just went like that. I was like, oh no. Like, he's got scars on his face. He literally, like, seeing the movie Kickboxer, he looked like some, like, Tong Po. And I was just like, no. And he got gloved up. And we're just about to walk out. And before you walk out, whilst the fight's going on, you sit down next to your opponent. There's two chairs, a red and a blue chair. You sit on your corner's chair. And you sit next to each other. And he couldn't speak a word of English. And I can't speak Thai. So we just both looked at each other and went, you all right? And then, yeah, you get called to the ring. You seal the ring. He did his Y crew. He turns out he was a trainer for one of the other gyms on the island. Absolutely beat the crap out of me for 2 rounds. And I mean, beat the crap out of me. I was out on my feet quite a few times. The Thais were chucking ice down my shorts. They were soaking me with water and pulling on my hair to try and wake me up. And round 3, 4, and 5 are the biggest rounds in Muay Thai. And the Thais were saying to me, nothing else is working for you other than your left head kick. And believe me, for the rest of that fight, 3, 4, and 5, all I threw was left head kick, left head kick, left head kick. And I beat him on points. In the last 20 minutes, 20 seconds of the final round, I booted his elbow.
Oh.
And I tore all the ligaments in the top of my foot with 20 seconds to spare of the final round. And I knew I was ahead. My shins were absolutely battered from the legs, what felt like baseball bats hitting me in the legs. This Thai was an animal. He had scars across his face. His legs were so conditioned. Like I said, it felt like I had baseball bats swinging across my thighs. And it hurt less to take the low kicks than it was to block them. My shins were smashed. And I had this pain, excruciating pain from my foot. I knew I couldn't stop because I knew I was ahead. I knew I was ahead. And that final bell rung, I straight away put all my weight on the ropes. I couldn't move. Literally, I couldn't put any weight on my foot. I was in Thailand. I had to go on a flight the next day. And I was immediately on crutches. As soon as I got out of the ring, I got on a pair of crutches. I was having painkillers. I didn't have time to go to the doctors because I had my flight the next day. I was on the plane ride home with a purple foot in agony. As soon as I got off the plane in England, I went straight to A&E. She was like, "Yeah, you've done your ligaments. Like, there's nothing we can do for you other than put an ankle support on you." And yeah, I wasn't walking properly for 4 weeks, but I won a fight in Thailand.
That is that is
I beat one of their best and brightest on the island, so I was happy.
that is incredible. That is one of the best stories I've ever heard in my life. Jay from the In-Betweeners will be proud of that story. That is ridiculous.
Proper. And this is legit. I've got the videos and pictures to prove it.
That is phenomenal. That is phenomenal, though. That is ridiculous. You're going out there on a trip with your girlfriend, end up fighting the Thai trainer, part of the gym, beat him on points. Oh my god! There should be a documentary of that. That's phenomenal. I love it.
Yeah, man. It's definitely a story to tell the grandkids when I'm older. Definitely.
I'd love to talk more about that. Moving. Do you see Thailand being a big part of your future? Moving forward, is that something that you'd like to do again? Go out there and have a fight again, and maybe hopefully not against a gym person, but do you see Thailand being a future?
I've done it twice now, and I love it. Like, anyone that's been to Thailand will tell you it's one of the greatest places on earth. The Thais are so happy. The majority of the population is Buddhist, and they believe a lot in karma. So a lot of them are very lovely people. They're always smiling. They're always kind of giving. Obviously, you've got certain areas like any place in the world that you need to be a little bit careful in. It's incredible, and it's the home of the sport I love. So yeah, of course I'm going back. I'd like to go for maybe once I finish my engineering kind of qualification. I'd like to go back for maybe 6 months, train solidly for 6 months, and become a little animal as such. Well, and come back to the UK and dominate. That would be a plan. But there's one thing. Well, a couple of things stop me doing that. Obviously, that's my family. I'm very family orientated, and then my teaching. I couldn't think of anything worse than leaving the kids I train, leaving them behind almost. I've got things I want to achieve with them lot. I want more champions. I want even more. I want to not only dominate myself, I want to have a dominating team. I want my team to be completely taking out everyone, not just myself. I want to have everyone around me successing. And then obviously the pages. If I'm in Thailand, I can't be filming UK Muay Thai shows or UK MMA shows or UK boxing or UK kickboxing. I can't be doing that in Thailand. Plus, I'll be knackered from all the training. But
Yeah,
yeah.
and the last question is from Smash Sports, and he would like to ask, what's the craziest thing other than fighting in Thailand did you see?
The craziest thing. That is a brilliant question. Koh Sam Road. There's a place in Thailand called Koh Sam Road, and anyone watching this will back me up on this. It is crazy. It's around about a mile long road of just bars, clubs, and chaos. It is one of the best things in the world. It's just incredible. There's so many Thais selling you like armbands with swear words on, and obviously the Thais think it's fascinating having an English word, but that's a swear word on there. And they're trying to sell you these. You can get lobsters, like scorpions on a stick, and you can go into nightclubs, and there's people trying to drag you down alleyways to trying to seduce you for money, and it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And if you want a night out, that's the place I would recommend. Another place, another story, sorry, would probably be the time I almost got absolutely mauled by rabid dogs. Well, so myself, obviously, this was actually when I went with my ex-girlfriend to Thailand. We pulled over to check the maps because we got lost randomly at night. And Thailand's very strange. There's wild dogs absolutely everywhere. They kind of repopulate. They kind of, yeah. And we pulled over to check the maps, and I remember barking, so hearing barking, and we were checking the maps. We turned the moped off. The keys were turned off. I'd taken the keys out of the ignition. There was barking going on, and all of a sudden, this dog come running out of this abandoned building. There was about 2 dogs behind it, and I remember going, "Get on the moped now!" Literally, plug the keys in, gone like that, proper as quick as I could. This dog must have been about half a meter away from my ex-girlfriend's leg, and it was scary. Like there's so many stories I could tell you. I could have gone on all night about this. Thailand's incredible, absolutely incredible. If you need stories, if you've got a boring life, you need to go to Thailand.
Let's keep it PG, Joe. An absolute pleasure, Joe. I mean, your time has been phenomenal. 50 minutes. I know it's a little bit longer than expected, but I appreciate your time. Fantastic.
No worries, man. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Anytime.
It's good to have you on. Hopefully, when you get a fight next booked, we'll get you back on the show. We'll talk about the opponent, talk about the matchup. I'd love to. It'll be a pleasure. And hopefully, when you go back to Thailand, we could have another story.
Of course, man. I've got plenty of stories to tell. I'm sure you've got plenty of stories to tell me, but we've run out of time. So, yeah, man. Yeah. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much, Joe. Make sure to check out his links in the description. Muay Thai Hub, Boxing Hub, Mixed Martial Arts Hub will all be in the description. Make sure you check them all out on Instagram. And obviously, Joe himself, he'll be also in the description. So thank you very much, Joe. An absolute pleasure. And hopefully I'll catch you soon.
Thank you, man. Speak to you soon.